it sounds really, really good, great, honestly.
Okay.
So I'll come back to my personal take on this in after a bit after. So actually, before we move on to dive deeply into the topic of REDES eco-villages, so you talk about your grandmother telling you a lot of stories from the areas where you used to live. So could you use one of the stories to demonstrate the historical and environmental characteristics of the region?
Yeah, and again, my grandmother, as I told you, grew up in an area surrounded by lions, surrounded by crocodiles. One day, while she was just looking after her cattle, she had one of my ankles on her back, and a lion was about to attack her cattle. And she put my ankle on the ground, and then she shouted to the top of her voice, and then that was enough, to scare the lion away and stop it from attacking her cattle. Some other day, she took her cattle also to the river for the cattle to drink. All of a sudden, it was one of the small, was attacked by a huge crocodile. I mean, in her place, I would have just run away to save my own life. But my grandmother wasn't the kind of woman, to run away from, saving her own cows. So she went down to the river, and then she held the back paws of the cattle, and then with her stick, she was just, beating, fighting the crocodile till finally the crocodile left the animal, but the animal died. And in my area also, people can talk, communicate with animals. For example, hippos are thought to have knowledge. And for example, the fishermen venerate the hippos, they venerate crocodiles. And so when you cross the river, you also ask for forgiveness for disturbing the elements in the river. Before you take leaves for medicinal purposes, you also have to pray. You don't go every day. You have to go on specific days and specific hour. And also you make sacrifice, like give back, like a salt, like a water, something in return, so that also the tree can serve you with generosity. If you go to the southern part of my country, in Casamance, for example, when a person passes away, and then during the burial, they bury this person with some seeds. And then when these seeds grow and come out, these are seen as the reincarnation of the soul of the person. So, and this forms sacred woods. Sacred woods are divided into zones. Some zones are for young children, other zones are for women alone, other zones are for the elders. So to go from one zone to the other, you need to be of a certain age, of a certain status. And then these sacred forests are like temples. People go in to pray. People go in when they have troubles. They go inside these to discuss. For example, for the women, if uh, to create safe spaces where they can literally share everything, and also um, go through some rituals to repair also the damage. I think uh, this was a very, very balanced way of looking after ecosystems, creating abundance, and also leading a very peaceful life.
And I think you are bringing all this cultural background and the way of working together with the ecosystem into the notion of your eco villages.
Mhm.
Mm,
Absolutely, absolutely. Because science cannot explain everything.
yes.
Mm, it's important because there are many dark spots, in science. I think spirituality involves all this. It's important today for us to live a very balanced life, for us to live in harmony with nature, also to develop this spirituality. And spirituality does not just mean, being a Christian or a Muslim. No, it's all this, how we relate with the earth, with the world, with life around us. If we respect life, we are already we preserve life. We are already, spiritual. It's important, to cultivate this so that people start really respecting the resources and these Western companies that just come and slash everything and just see opportunities, economic opportunities. No, I mean, money is not everything. So we need to find ways to, really improve our living conditions, but at the same time also be sure to leave the planet, healthier planet to our kids, to our grandchildren, and also lead a healthy life. And today, it's just, I mean, the model we're applying to this world is no longer working, and we need to find something and some other alternatives. And I think in the shaping of this new world, Africa has a lot to teach. Africa will not play the second roles. Africa, the wisdom, the traditional wisdoms in what we call indigenous cultures, are the real values that the world needs to know to promote in order also to save climate change, in order to save this planet. And this also Africans need to understand this, because it's very easy today to be brainwashed by what we hear, by what we see on in the virtual world, and then people will forget. I think, yes, we need to review what education is, how to educate our people, how to. We are at a very important traditional moment in the history, in the movement of this planet. Very interesting all at the same time.